Girly Pops, welcome back to the pod. And I think this is a recording we have been waiting, probably the most anticipated, because I think our very first episode we talked about Wicked.
Yeah,
I'm like
you're right.
90% sure, yes, because there's a lot of promo during that time. I think we slip it into a lot of different episodes, but
As
now,
we should.
as we should, it's finally out. It's finally in our hands. We've both seen it, and I think we're just gonna dedicate this episode to Wicked because
Yes.
she deserves that episode.
I'm so excited. I feel like you and I actually have probably talked about it in almost every single podcast episode.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. And we both were just so obsessed with the story before the movies. We were both so excited. I was kind of nervous. I was like, I really hope they do it justice. And they did.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God, the minute I walked out of the theater, I was like, you and I need to talk about this. Because first of all, it was a crime we didn't get to see it together.
I
But
know. We got yeah,
but now we're gonna gab about it. So I'm excited.
exactly. No. Well, I guess like right off the bat, like, what were your thoughts?
Okay, well, like I knew it was a part two, like a two-part thing.
Yeah.
So I even when it ended, I was still like, oh my God, because like, I just wanted it to keep going.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was so good. From the very start, like, when it starts with No One Mourns the Wicked and
Yeah.
it's Glinda, like I was like, oh my God, Ariana Grande really did come to play. And you could just tell how much she loves that story and Glinda. And like, oh my God, like she could, if she wants to just do theater for the rest of her life, like she was saying recently, I'm a
Yeah.
full supporter of that because
Right?
that with those first 5 minutes, like
Oh,
set the scene. And I was just like in awe. Yeah.
no one mourns the wicked was such an incredible beginning, and it was so like revealing, I feel like, but also not too revealing. Like I think,
Mhm.
but there were so many like interesting choices they made in No One Mourns the Wicked that like I really appreciated. Like
Yeah.
also spoiler warning, like I'm
Yeah,
not
spoiler.
not gonna not spoil. So and this includes for the musical. So
And
like
for part two, probably.
yeah. So I'm like so
So if you don't want to be spoiled,
yeah.
leave.
If you
We
don't
love
want to be
you.
spoiled, thank you so much for listening. Leave us a note and come
My
back
girly.
when you've seen the movie. So thank you.
We'll
But
see when you hear.
also it has been up for 25 years, girls. So like let's realize like this is a known story. Like please, like thank you. But anyways, so and then one more. Oh my gosh, behind you, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I'm working on a little gallery wall. I'm soon gonna get a picture of you and me when we were in New York and get it somewhere over there.
So
But
cute.
yeah.
Stop. Anyway, sorry. I had to point that out. But no one wins the wicket. There's a point where Glinda, like when they start singing, like the Munchkins are like, no one mourns the wicked.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of like gives them like a what? And I thought that was a really interesting touch. Like, I really like. I feel like they just revealed a lot about Glinda's character in that song, like super early on, which I
Hmm.
feel like the Broadway play gets kind of overlooked because you don't get that like close up look.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
No, I completely agree. And I feel like within that moment, yeah, like I was seeing so many posts where people were like, Glinda was showing like the 5 stages of grief within like the
Yeah.
7 minute opening. Like, she was having to put on this facade, as you know, for being Glinda the Good Witch, but this is her best friend. And then if you go into what happens in part two, relationships wise, people turning into certain things wise, like, like so much has happened before you see Glinda right then. Like that happened like within hours, I think, of then.
Yeah.
And she just had like the range she gave with just her face and then the songs. And
So
like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they added different like ad libs to her singing, like the part where she was like, she died alone. Like that part, like,
I
remember when she like really hit the note?
so that one is actually in the
It
original.
is? Okay.
It dies alone, but no,
Yeah.
like the original one, Kristen Chenoweth. the inflection is just very different.
That's what it was.
There
Okay.
was one of them, I don't remember her name. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. But like when
Oh,
they,
I know what you're talking about.
yes, they actually belt it. They go, the wicked die alone. Like
Yeah.
they really hit it. So
You can
Ariana
tell it's more
is in
about.
that perfect like in between of like really hinting at it, but like without being like really leaning into it too much.
Yeah.
But I love the parts whenever people are analyzing it, no one mourns the wicked as like Glinda singing about
Yeah.
herself because she sees herself as wicked for like turning on her friend and
Hmm.
becoming a politician and giving up her morals, which obviously by the end she no longer does that anymore.
Yeah.
Like she's like closing off that wicked part of herself now that she can make a difference and like, oh, so good.
No, it was just like I genuinely like I went with Kelsey and Miguel and neither of them had seen the play and they didn't know the story like at all. And
Ooh.
Kelsey was so excited and Miguel was like there because he was like, okay, this is probably gonna be fun. And I like turned to them and I was like, I need y'all to know I will be crying through this whole thing. And I'm not sorry. And Kelsey like looked over at me the minute they started singing No One Mourns the Wicked, and I was like already tearing up. I
That's
was
so
like, oh my God. And Miguel was like, this is your gladiator, isn't it? And I was like, this is my gladiator.
yeah, I love
And
it.
yeah, and then yeah, but like you said, the inflections, because at one point they're going like, she died alone, and she like hits this really beautiful note where she sings She Died Alone, and like, I don't know, it was just so good. And yeah, I mean, I could talk about the opening scene forever and ever, but also Little Elphaba did so good. Like the backstory.
Good.
Yeah.
Also, little Nessa Rose, like
So cute.
what a peach, what adorable. Her, I wanted to like go and pinch them. Like she was so cute.
3D version, and you're like,
I was like,
she was so cute. And I liked the choice that they made where, like obviously in the play, they can't have live animals up there. And so like they do their best to make people like Dr. Dillamond and like the nanny who like raised Elphaba basically, to look like animals, but they couldn't do it perfectly. And I really liked how they just went for it and were like, okay, they're gonna look like full on animals. Like
oh
we're not
yeah.
gonna do weird like cats we did a couple years ago or like anything like that. And oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say no, the CGI I thought was really well done.
So good.
The coloring I found honestly a little bit dull. Like I was
Yeah,
expecting it to be a little more vibrant, but like
I can agree with that. Yeah.
a super vibrant story. So like I get that.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me that much, but I was just like expecting it to be like, oh, and then like
Like the
what?
Technicolor. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just since The Wizard of Oz is like the first
First-
movie where colors introduced it, I was really expecting it. But again, like this is like a modern, like more version of it. So I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
not mad about it. It was just something I wasn't expecting, you know what I mean?
No, I was thinking the same thing. The one part I will say that I think was super colorful that they did so well with was the yellow brick road. It was
Oh,
yellow. It
yeah,
was so yellow.
it was yellow. Oh my gosh, I saw the funniest meme
Yeah.
like about she would go like not Glinda sending Dorothy down a 70-mile yellow brick road when she know there's a bullet train. Which like yes, but we all know why she did that. She stopped
Literally.
for Elphaba's life so Elphaba can
Yeah.
escape. Because
Yeah.
what's going on behind the scenes that we don't know in
A
the
lot is going on behind the scenes. But
but
also,
hilarious.
oh, I saw that. I was laughing so hard. And okay, again, I'm gonna go like full spoilers. I'm gonna be saying a lot of things about part two. So guys, like if
Hilarious.
you
Yeah.
yeah, if you don't want to hear, don't listen, please. You've been warned about 1,000 times. But anyway, there was another TikTok meme that's trending right now, and it's of Dorothy like singing like
Yeah.
the witch, the da na 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 na, and it's like Glinda's face, and it's like Glinda trying to act like she cares when her situationship just ended, and when she finds out
She's like,
she turned into a scarecrow. She watched her best friend's sister get toppled, a house toppled on her, like all those things.
oh, she went to school with, like literally.
And she's just
Uh,
sitting there like,
right. Right. My favorite is whenever she goes, are you a good witch or a bad witch? And then Dorothy goes, oh, I'm not a witch. And then later Glinda goes, only bad. witches are ugly, which means you can't tell if Dorothy is ugly or not.
Okay, that's a question I have. Do you think Dorothy's gonna be in the sequel in like part two? Like we'll see her? Because in the play you don't.
You don't. But I
Yeah.
low key wouldn't be surprised if
I
they
feel
made
like
the decision to include her, just because one, the runtime. We already
yeah.
know that like the movie runtime was 2 minutes and 45 minutes, 2 hours, not 2 minutes. Oh my God.
2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is like basically the length of the play. So
Yeah.
basically, we're getting a whole second play added onto this, like for the price of
Yeah.
one. So I'm like, the story has to be extended in some
I
manner, which
definitely think
is
so.
like childhood scenes and like doing stuff like that. But I wouldn't be shocked if there's a Dorothy.
Well, especially if they're gonna be, again, spoilers, if they're gonna be showing the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and their backstories and them going on this journey, like knowing
Yeah.
their backstory, I feel like you might see
Right?
Dorothy,
Maybe
you
she's
know?
not like playing a big role, but like I would imagine her being
Hmm.
present in some format.
Right?
Also, since they did a lot more nods to the original Wizard of Oz in this one, I feel
Hmm.
like leaning more into bringing the original one into the story, less so than the musical did.
I agree. And like I've seen fun rumors of people who like just like fan casting who they think Dorothy could be
Yeah.
if they pick a fun celebrity. Yeah.
Oh, who's in
And
your favorite?
I saw Margaret Qualley. Wouldn't
Oh,
that
that's
be
cool.
so good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Maya, she kind of looks like Margaret Qualley and she just dressed as Dorothy. So
That's
maybe,
so cute.
maybe
Foreshadowing. The marketing goes
foreshadowing.
crazy.
The more
Yeah.
the marketing goes crazy. Oh my God, speaking of the marketing going crazy, this is so off topic. I saw it in 4D Max.
Are you okay?
It was the most insane but best experience ever. Like it was actually psycho of them to do that, but so good. Um,
Yeah.
everyone was just giggling like at the 4D because it was like actually absurd. Like when the monkeys are growing wings, you get like in the back, and I was like, oh my God, like, I'm not growing a wing, goddamn. Or there's like water, wind. When the camera would go like that, like you would lean for like it was a whole experience.
You're on like the bullet
Um,
train. Yeah.
yeah, it was the only theater, of course, out of the 10 that we had for the early screening that was 4D, and somehow our cohort picked it. And so we were in there and we were like, what? I didn't even realize for like the first 15 minutes. And then I looked up and I see a button on my seat. Water on, water off.
Sure.
That's a water on, of course. Like with that.
I mean, I'm already there.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, so like that's like a good experience. So yeah, that was my yeah. So I'm marketing the film as everyone should go see it in 4D with the twisters because that was an experience and that's not one I regret. I was changed for the good
Oh, that was
by
good.
40X
Yeah.
is the title. But
Oh my God.
as like a film nerd though, I feel like one part I really appreciated was that they film all the scenes live on set
Mhm.
and that like they filmed all the songs, I mean, like they're
Yeah,
singing.
they sang it live. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all most of the sets were practicals. Like no
Yes.
green screens, no like CGI.
Even the
Um
train.
and trains real boy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. I really appreciated that too. I was like, because it did make it feel more authentic. And, I think what was so famous about the first movie is, yeah, those were practical sets, and they looked so vibrant and stuff. And so I like that they tried to
Read
continue that. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And yeah,
We need to talk about Cynthia Erivo
we didn't even talk about Cynthia Riva.
because
Okay.
she is one Oscar away from an EGOT, and I want her to get it for Elphaba.
Wait, really?
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, that's so cute. No, she ate down. Like,
She destroyed.
right. She was amazing.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh my,
her,
the Wizard. Oh, sorry, you go.
you go.
Oh, okay. One of my favorite songs from the musical is The Wizard and I. So when she started singing that, and that is, I think, like the first time you really hear her sing, it was so amazing. Like it's so good. And she
So
hit the
good.
like last note of The Wizard and I so good. And I was like, oh my God.
Also,
Yeah.
The Wizard and I is such like I love that song, but I don't really listen to it that much whenever I listen to the original soundtrack. But then like I've been bumping it nonstop, and I didn't even realize like how much foreshadowing is in that song.
Mhm. A
It's
vision
like
almost
I'll
like a
be so
prophecy.
excited, I can melt, like girl, they'll all be screaming, like
A celebration to do with me. Yeah.
for all of Oz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, that's
But
crazy.
also, yeah, like she just fantastic choice for Elphaba. And like she had kind of the cynicism at the beginning that Elphaba had, but then like the kindness that she has, that people often overlook so well. And I don't think anybody else could have played her. Like I saw that some people wanted Lady Gaga to be her. And before John Chu was attached, apparently the other director was eyeing Lady Gaga for Elphaba. And I don't think there could have been a world where Cynthia Erivo
Wow,
wasn't the film Alphaba. Like it was so perfect.
amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Like, so good. I think we also need to unpack, well, let's just unpack our characters. We talked a lot about Glinda and Alphaba, but
Yeah.
Fiyero,
I love Jonathan Bailey.
Fiyero,
Piero.
Fiyero.
The fact that we haven't heard that song yet, I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
I'm
Yeah.
so that one, like, no good deed. And
Miguel
Cynthia,
when
he's gonna go crazy for that song.
when when the show ended, Miguel like looked at me and he was like, "Well, damn, didn't they do all the good songs in the first one?" And I was like, "No." We have For Good.
We got forget.
We have
No good.
um No Good Deed. We have As Long as You're Mine. We have the reprisal of I'm Not That Girl. We have so many to look forward to.
Got a lot to go.
Yeah.
We got
Hmm.
wonderful girl.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he was such a good Fiero. He was so charming. Like I was sitting there giggling.
Um, he was being a silly boy.
He was so silly.
When he catches Ariana, Glinda, like when she's going
Yeah,
to sleep, and he's like,
so cute.
it's okay. I
So
can't. I
cute.
can't.
So cute.
Oh,
Also, what?
you
No,
go.
you go.
Okay. I was gonna say Ethan Slater,
He kind
but
of killed it.
Bob.
He
Great
killed
Bob.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
good Bob.
Nessa, Nessa, I got something to confess. Like, ate that up.
Also, Nessa Rose.
Marissa Bode, so good.
I love that her name kind of sounds like Nessa Rose.
Right, like Marissa Bode, Nessa Rose.
Yeah, I thought
Like,
that was really cute.
and this is her
Yeah.
acting debut, and she did amazing.
No, wait, that was her acting debut? I didn't know that. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Just the story of Nessa Rose is also so interesting when you see part two. So, like, yeah,
Wish you might
buckle
have
up.
another story coming in. Yeah,
We got a whole other part. Yeah.
yeah.
But they were all so well cast. And like Dancing Through Life. Okay, I'm gonna have a bit of a controversial take.
Oh, good.
I liked Dancing Through Life when I saw it.
Okay.
When I listened to the soundtrack, I never really listened to Dancing Through Life, which I think is a criminal thing to most people. But the Jonathan Bailey rendition of Dancing Through Life, I'm obsessed with.
Me too. No, me
It's
too.
so
I've
good.
never been really like that much. Like I always like kind of skip through dances like
Okay.
it's too
Same.
long. And
Yeah.
it's like so, and I'm always like there's a little story that unpacks that song too.
Yes.
But I have not skipped it once. In fact,
Y-
I find myself queuing it to get
Yes.
it's so good, this version, and I loved it.
And
Uh,
did you see, again, spoilers, but did you see how people were making notes about his movements and how they were very flaily and kind of
yes.
clumsy, but still put together?
One scene apparently, I don't remember which one, but he has like straw on his jacket that he like brushes off.
And Elphaba tells him to get stuffed at some
Yes,
moment. Yeah.
girl, yeah, crazy for that one.
Yeah. Also, there were just like so many subtle little Easter eggs like that. Like at one point when Madame Morrible first meets, first of all, Michelle Yeoh was a fantastic Madame Morrible. Yeah.
Insane. Like no one
Insanely
else could
good.
have done that. That wicked when she said that, I was like
Wicked.
gag.
She was so
Gag.
her singing too because she starts off The Wizard and I, and I
Yeah.
was just like, it sounds so good because she was like scared to sing. I heard
I
she didn't want
know.
to. Yeah.
It was
But
amazing.
so in that part, Madame Morrible, I something happened, and I think she's like, kind of excusing Elphaba, like charming her, and she's like, "Oh, that was just a minor gulch." And isn't that the name of the witch's name in the original one? Like Madame or
Yes,
Madame
Madam
Gulch
Gulch.
she said, "Oh, that was just a brief gulch, like a brief mess up." Yeah.
There you go.
Isn't that a cute one? I hadn't seen many people notice that, but when I was in there, I went, "Oh."
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
um,
So
one
good.
book I cried in that I did not expect to cry in was Popular. Why was Popular so emotional, this rendition?
So good. I think it was just like
Powerful.
knowing how much Ariana Grande loves Wicked and how much she wanted to be Glinda and getting to see her do it in like the most Glinda
I
famous, and
know.
I would argue, and like they added the la 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 part like at the end. They really let her do that part. And I think that's when I started tearing up. I was like, you could just tell she was so happy.
So happy. And when she
Yeah.
leans into Alphaba and she goes, pink goes good with green. And then she
Yeah.
goes, well.
It so does. Yeah.
And then I also love the part that they added when she goes, Alphaba goes, popular? And she goes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Like Ariana
That
was
was
showing how funny, but also such an amazing actress she is. Like in
yes.
that scene, like alone, like I was like, girl. And I think Variety is predicting that she is expected to win the
I
Oscar.
hope so.
Cause
I
like,
hope so.
oh,
They both deserve the win
both of
so
them.
much. Yeah, and but I like audibly laughed out loud when she went right. It's
Right.
like
There
instead of
were
the
so many moments like that for Glinda that I was
Mhm.
like, also, what is this feeling? The choreo, so
So
satisfying.
split screen. Oh my God. It
So
was so good. I liked also another like funny Ariana's like such a great actress and like she personified Glinda like so well. Instead of like my face is flushing the way they usually say it, she turns and she goes, "Yeah, well, my face is flushing." And that
yeah,
really made me laugh
no, the whole opening to that, I was like, they totally redid it, but like in the best way
in
possible.
the best way. Also, the choreography was so good.
Satisfying. I love
So
when literally we were doing it in the shop today, like holding notebooks, like as a joke before. So we're like,
good.
Linda, you are just too good.
Just too good.
So
Also,
good.
Bowen Yang, so funny.
So hilarious. As it
So funny. Yeah, there was like at one point he was like, "You were so kind, Glinda. You were so kind." It was like when Elphaba like told Glinda off the first time or something. Yeah, but such a
so
good pick.
so
Also,
perfect.
what is it with the SNL cast being in the biggest movies of the past 2 years? Really random. I was thinking about that earlier, like Kate McKinnon, Barbie, and
Yep.
now Bowen Yang, Wicked.
They're doing it. They're doing the
Pattern.
thing. Yeah. Owen apparently has to get like permission though to
I
go
saw
and do this film. But Ariana like really pleaded for him to do it because she really wanted him in this. And I think he knows because they have such a good connection.
they're so funny together. Like, oh my God. But also the butterfly dress that Glenda wears at the Ozdust ballroom. I think I looked over that one in all the previews. It is gorgeous.
Stunning. So
So pretty.
beautiful.
So pretty.
Amazing. Like they and that scene
Where they're
where
dancing.
they're like so good. It was
Also,
so well done.
it was so emotional.
I
Like I
know.
felt like at first I was like, okay, this is kind of silly, but then it got so cute when like
Kind of
Glinda
have
joined
that
her.
moment where like you cringe, but
Yeah,
like you're cringing like how you're supposed to because that's the moment I think where we really realize just how ostracized Elphaba truly is, and it's
yeah,
not for anything of her fault, and
yeah.
or for any good reason, but like you have that moment where you as an audience member cringe, and then
Mm,
kind of like you instantly feel bad because you're like, why am I like
yeah,
feeling this towards this poor girl? And then Glinda steps in, and obviously, like, we get to see their friendship blossom for the first time. But, like, yeah,
yeah.
I thought that was really powerful, just like how, like, almost they lead into the cringiness, like,
They
oh,
kind of trick the audience. Yeah,
like, kind of make you, like, realize, like, how easy it is for ourselves to, like, fall into those judgments
yeah.
stages and kind of like react to this, like how we do that in our everyday life. Like it was almost like a little prank, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was good.
No, that's such a like interesting, like that's so true. Because I remember, like I said, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, no.
I
But then
know.
I was, why is everyone making fun
Yeah,
of her? Like, why can't she have fun?
yeah.
And yeah, that was a really like it was just like a really pretty scene. And like yeah, the whole Ozdust Ballroom one, like so fantastic. Like
So
they did
incredible.
so well with that.
No.
But um also, I'm kind of obsessed with the witch's hat, like Cynthia Erivo's hat. Like
Oh
the
my
way
God.
they designed that, I was like, why is everyone making fun of this thing? That thing's
Oh,
awesome.
I know. They're all like, I can't believe she's wearing that hat.
I was like,
Give me 10. I
I
was
was
like,
like, that's kind of neat.
dude,
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Cape on? I was like, whoa, this is good.
When Glinda puts the cape on her, I started crying again.
Okay, what's
And
again?
Alphaba does a little wink.
I
So
know.
cute.
Ah! And
Oh
they're
my
both doing
God.
it. Oh my God. Defying
Oh,
Gravity was so good.
I feel like so many people were nervous for that because it's such a beloved, iconic song. It's
So
out of
good.
the park.
And I love the part they added, like, no, it's not her you're looking for. It's me.
Yeah, like oh my God. And like seeing like Alphaba like falling, because I guess I never really realized like in the play, like yeah, she literally just learned how to fly.
She does not know what she's doing, but she's
Yeah.
figuring out as she goes. She's like, that's her talent. Like she just like she's
And
able to
then
like give into like her powers too in that moment. I feel like 'cause she has nothing to lose. And
mhm.
literally like that fall, I feel like showed that, which is crazy.
Yeah, and she was still trying to protect Glinda. Like even
Yeah,
though, Glinda was like, we should apologize, like all this stuff, you
yeah.
know? And like, oh my God, Ariana hit the inflection of I hope you're happy, like so well. And when it happened, I remember I like grabbed Kelsey's arm and I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
I hope it's happy.
I hope you're happy. Yeah. But uh also wait, I forgot what I was gonna say. The cameo.
The cameo.
The
Oh,
cameo.
good. Honestly, went on a little long.
It did. That was
Those
like a whole
girls.
role. Yeah.
But it was a very much like a big part of that
When
song.
Adina got to do the yeah.
Or when Glinda started singing and then Kristen was like, shh, no.
Yeah. I had
So
seen there was some behind the scene thing that kind of accidentally spoiled Kristen Chenoweth was in it. So I had a feeling Kristen Chenoweth was going to show up. I didn't know in what capacity, but I feel like Kristen had been so a part of the marketing and all the premieres so much to where Adina Menzel was only at one of the premieres, at least what I saw, to where
yeah,
I was like, okay, like maybe she had scheduling problems. Maybe she's not as involved in the film as people were wanting, even though I totally think she would want to be, which maybe
right?
just didn't, like it wasn't in the cards for some reason. So
Yeah.
I was the first one I saw was Adina, like when they rise up, and so I was like, oh my God.
So
Yeah, yeah.
also Jeffrey Goldblum as
Oh, the wizard, so good.
no one else could be the wizard. Like that was crazy.
I remember a couple years ago I was like thinking of who they'd cast, and the only two people that like crossed my mind was him or Neil Patrick Harris. They both just seemed
Yeah.
so like
Like
kind of goofy,
Neil wasn't Neil Patrick Harris like in Oz?
Was he?
Oh,
Oh
look
my
it.
God, we'll have to find out.
I'll look
But
it. But
for the
anyway,
Jeff Goldblum was perfect.
like he was the wizard, like the
Mhm.
powerful, like it was crazy. But
Another
so
I
good.
will say, oh yeah, another thing I will say is like, when they cast such famous people in roles, like, I don't know, for example, like they cast Margot Robbie as Barbie. Sometimes you have a hard time, and I'm not saying it was her, that's just the first thing I think of. Like sometimes you have a hard time differentiating, like, oh, that's Margot Robbie from Barbie, or oh, that's Ryan Gosling from Ken, or like, oh,
Right.
that's Emma Stone in La La Land. Like you're having a hard time seeing the full character. And those were just the first movies that came to my head. I don't think about that with those two
Yeah.
movies, but um the minute every single character came on, I was like, that's not Ariana Grande. That's Glinda. That's not Jeff Goldblum. That's the Wizard. Like, that's not Cynthia Erivo. Like, like they all like were so well cast and they did it, they portrayed them all so well to where like I was fully in it. It was never like, oh, look at Ariana or oh, Jeff Goldblum. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
All did such an amazing job, and it all just fit so perfectly that I was just like, I love this.
So good. I hope it gets Oscar praise because I'm still pissed that Barbie didn't, that Margot Robbie didn't. So like if this one gets that, I'm gonna be sad. Maybe very sad.
I'm manifesting, but I feel like we got good chances. Like,
hmm
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Was Neil Patrick Harris in Oz? Did we find out?
wasn't. But
Oh.
I didn't realize that Mila Kunis plays the Wicked Witch of the West in that one. So
Have you never? Yeah.
I,
That was
I
so
just like,
crazy.
thought when I was so young that I just don't think I put together it was her.
I was obsessed with that movie as a kid, but like I really don't remember it at all now.
Right?
Like,
Like,
yeah.
or like Michelle Williams is in it. Like,
Yeah,
girl,
she's Glinda.
that
Yeah. Yeah. And then Rachel Weisz is the Wicked Witch of the East, I think. Yeah,
that
which I forget. But insane.
yeah.
But oh my God. I'm so excited for part two though. Like, I can't believe we have to wait a year.
I know it's crazy, but it's gonna be worth the wait, I think. Like
hmm
I'm gonna have watched this movie like a million times over on
Oh, I'm already planning on seeing it again this week with my mom because she hasn't gotten to see it yet.
yes,
So I'm
I need to
like,
go see it this week.
yeah.
I'm
And
like,
it was really fun watching my friends who hadn't seen the story watch it because like, it was just so like it was cool because like I had seen it so like I knew what was coming, but they had no idea. And Miguel got some of the guesses right. He texted me because I was like, don't you dare spoil him for Kelsey. But he texted me and I was like, how did you figure that out? But like Kelsey like had no clue. So I was like, Kelsey, don't look up anything the next year. I was like, you need to just go in blind.
yeah,
Do you
exactly.
think, yeah, do you think they'll have as big of a marketing like or press run for part two? I feel like they will.
I feel like press run for sure. I
Yeah,
don't
maybe not marketing.
that's like wicked merch as we're
Yeah.
like now. Although I do think we'll have some collabs. Just because like this one has performed really well. Like this took off really well. The merch is selling out like insanely well. That like I
So
definitely think
much.
we're gonna get like some sort of push. Yeah, again,
Yeah.
I think it needs to be as big as this one just because like people already know it and people are gonna
Yeah.
get but I definitely think
Exactly.
we're gonna get some sort of like press tour and something like that.
I've been loving the press videos too. Like Ariana and Cynthia doing the lie detector test. So funny.
That's so good.
So
I saw Letterboxd interviewed them on one of the Carbex and they asked Jeff Goldblum his favorite porn.
he was,
And they were all Jeff Goldblum movies. He's like, I just have a small role in that one.
I would do
I
that
was like,
too. Yeah.
no, no.
So real. If I were in good
We're all
movies,
good picks. I was like,
yeah.
no. I'm like,
So funny.
I was
But did you have anything else you wanted to say?
no. Like there's so much to say,
I'm
but it's
sure we'll have more
yeah,
soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
agree.
be texting you later. I'm gonna be like, wait, we didn't talk about.
We didn't discuss this. Exactly.
Oh my God. But yeah, I think that really rounds up what we
That
had to
was
say, at least for
our,
now.
our wickedly good podcast episode.
Oh my God. That was good.
Thank
That
you.
was good. People are gonna remember that for good.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
gonna be popular. Oh,
Can't stop. She can't stop.
can't
What is
stop.
she doing?
Sorry, I'm just dancing through life. So if you care to find us, subscribe to this
Yeah.
podcast.
Subscribe if you love some sentimental men.
Okay. We've
Enough of,
lost points.
enough of that. We've lost the plot. We've lost
Yeah,
the plot.
no good deed goes unpunished.
Okay, we're, we're done. We'll see you next.